everybody, and welcome to Ask the Answers podcast with myself, Adele. And if you are watching us on the socials, you will see right next to me our resident psychic astrologer. We've got the lovely Sherry joining us today.
Hi, Adele. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me back. I'm so excited for today.
No, lovely to see you. Again, it's always nice having catch-ups with you, monthly installments, because so much is changing energetic-wise and astrological-wise, if I can get my teeth put back in. So it's always nice to have a little check-in, see where we're at, see what things have been going on, what's going on in the present, and what's, of course, coming up in the future for everyone. So we are listening, our ears are open. What do you have to tell us?
Oh, thank you. So yes, we are in Libra season, right? Libra is a cardinal sign. Cardinal sign basically are the starters, the spark bringers, the initiators of the zodiac, right? So the ruling planet is Venus, which is beauty and love, and Libra is an air body. It's an air sign. So it's in terms of anatomy, when you think of the body astrology, Libra represents the scale, right? Equilibrium. Now people think when they think of the balance scales, to keep that balance, it's actually it's static, right? But it's not. To maintain the balance, we actually have to have extreme dynamic function that requires constant coordination.
Yeah.
So, and tweaking, right? So no, just because you feel like you're at balance with things in your life at this time, it's not coming from a static state, right? So it's a function that requires constant movement.
Yeah.
Right?
A little bit here, a little bit there, getting it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a dance, it's a juggle, it's maintaining homeostasis. It's a multi-organ process when we think of the body. It's a process with a lot of, like, how do I say this? Filtration, distillation, secretion, and excretion. That's how our bodies work, right? So Libra governs this interconnected cycles of looping and feedback that your body gives you. Oh, I ate too much, or it's how we keep the balance. So although it may look like on the outside, Libra's balance is actually a continuous rising and falling of, like, blood, water and hormones. So in terms of the etheric realms, it's the same thing. Libra season, Libra energies, there's going to be a lot of biggest life changes that are going to happen in this season for the rest of the decade. So it's the sun in Libra is going to make a trine, and a trine is when two planets are about 120 degrees apart in the same sign. These are when blessings could come, Adele. Blessings without struggle. Usually trines happen between planets of the same element, between Aries, Leo, Sag, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So with Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini, the energies are going to bring about changes and developments through the people we know, right? Or about to meet. Right. So we're going to call in new people. If you haven't noticed already, I'm always ahead of the transits. I don't know about you, Adele. I'm already seeing these changes way ahead of the time. And we're going to call in people of similar frequencies and similar trajectories of our growth. Have you noticed that, or you want to share?
No, absolutely. It's interesting every time I speak to you, but as soon as you said that, I said about a few weeks ago, I asked the universe, please, I need some help with this project, because I feel like I'm a little fish in a little fish in this big pond, lake, reservoir, ocean, whatever it might be, and I need some help. I can't do it all my own. And literally, the moment I said that and I opened up to the universe, the next day I got these emails from these people who are now backing me and supporting me with the projects that I've been, setting out to do with my son. You remember I mentioned about the clothing range?
Yes.
His rugby clothing range. And I felt a little bit, just didn't have the people behind me to support me and felt quite alone. Do you remember I said that? I said, I feel quite alone. I'm trying to do it, but I don't know I've got the right support around me. So I thought, right, put it out to the universe. And I literally got the chairman of our big rugby club, got in touch after I reached out to him. He's fully behind my son's designs and clothing. He wants to support us. And then he said, but it might be a conflict of interest with our other sponsors. Let me get in touch with them. got in touch with them. They came back and said, we would like to provide the clothes. We'd like to help them with their designs. We're rooting for them. We're really behind them. They can come in and see how it's all done. So suddenly I've got all these people now that are helping, like, bring it to life.
Wow, that's your manifesting,
Yeah.
to the 3D. So as I was mentioning in Libra season, these key relationships are coming in now for all of us, whether soulmates, true partnerships, more unions are going to be occurring. This is where the energies are going to be fast moving, okay, as well as things happening quicker in the lineups, especially where with air signs. So try and like find out what their signs are, when you're dealing with these people, right? We're going to be like sharing and interacting and collaborating with people for the betterment of our lives and for the globe and for the collective.
Okay.
Because what you're doing has purpose bigger than just what your intention is, right? So these energies are going to change the world together as we influence the planet. So it's about, again, key partnerships, which you're seeing. And for some, it's going to occur in romantic relationships, some in working partnerships, bringing us people together closer, making sure we're on the same page still. As I said to you, there's certain people that can't seem to be in alignment with us. And it doesn't mean you're leaving anyone behind. It just means you're reflecting some inner work that they may have to do that you don't want to have to repeat your lessons through that connection. Are you noticing that as well?
Oh, sorry, repeat that again.
Like there could be some people you're not in alignment with that
Yes.
are kind of just falling away with this eclipse energy that's going to run into the next 6 months. So it doesn't mean we're leaving people behind. It doesn't the negative way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in fact, I was going to ask you, because you were saying about that Libra balance and, obviously moving a bit like a dance, so to speak. So does that mean that you shouldn't be putting all your energy into one thing and that you should keep the other things running smoothly around it? Or should it be a time where you focus on those things where those connections are coming in?
Right. So trusting what you're saying from your higher self there, it's like going back and forth and weighing out decisions. What it like doing some inner work, introspection, meditative work, going for a walk, ask for signs. Is it my intention is it my best and highest good to do this, even if this is my intention, and then ask for signs and synchronicities, ask through your dreams to be shown, send me the next step. And if you're not getting an answer, it doesn't mean no right away. It just means maybe the door's not opening to that, and it could open a door to something else. So these Libra energies are important, again, for the think long-term vision for the next decade.
Yeah.
Right. This is going to show you. I've been seeing it in my own life, where I could see the finger of God in everything. For example, when I'm off from a part-time gig that I picked up in the babysitting job, I noticed my brother needs my support to pick up his kids on these days. The exact times that I'm not working and exact days. And I said, this is just too perfect. It's by design. That the way spirit, I always open up my day with, show me how I can serve today.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before, be ready, because when you ask how you're going to show up to serve, you may not like all the time how you're being called to serve, right? It may feel like, oh God, that's such out of my way. I was wanting to stay home and relax and read a book. But if because you don't know, what if you are intended to go pick up your son and you're meant to meet someone at their soccer game? You're meant to hear a conversation. You're meant to see something. We don't know. That's where we have to trust the finger of God in all of this. And it's time. It's really time. Libra energies is a 2 of Pentacles. You'll see a guy in the tarot card balancing 2 pentacles. So yes, you may have to learn to juggle these 2 things, just as I am naturally with helping my family and trying to work my own business, be there for the clients and all of this. So things are happening quickly, but but we've been waiting for these things.
I get that. I totally get that. And you mentioned it earlier without even probably thinking about it. It always makes me smile when I say about, when I do my exercise class and I have an intention. So in that exercise class today, my intention was your dreams. So looking at those dreams, you know, and getting that focus on where we're putting our energy, and again, meeting people and connecting with people is something that I was mentioning in the class today. And ties in nicely with what we're saying, turning these dreams into reality, and the vision that my son had coming into reality, connecting with these people around, but also finding, I'm just having to keep things going, you know, the gym things going, keep that ticking over, that's running nicely now, but put my energy into the dream, our vision that we had, meeting those new connections. But then also you said sometimes the other connections then might not serve you purpose at that time. There was another event I was supposed to do, but at the moment they were quite happy with me obviously mentioning to them, unfortunately, I need to put my son and his vision, you know, and I need to put my family first in this occasion because something could really do well from it. I hope you understand. And they were, yeah, it's fine. We understand. You know, you go for it. We're always here. You can always do this event another time. So there, again, just switching from something that I was supposed to be doing with one connection, putting that just to one side, but keeping them happy and making sure that we've still got that connection there in the future, while I'm focusing on my dream and keeping it ticking over with the work side of things as well. So yeah, it's all everything you're mentioning is like, yeah.
Well, I love how we're so in alignment. Like, you know, this is Libra season. We're going to have a lot of people arriving and who are going to want to work with you, with us, right? They're going to want to start a joint venture, a project, whatever the case may be. This is the time where we are reminded that there are good people in the world, and we're here to increase those frequencies, Adele, right? We are here to contribute our energy back into the collective, right? It's not just, I can easily white lie and say to my brother, no, I'm not free when I'm free, right? But no, I want to help him, you know, create more abundance if I'm able to help him pick up the kids and he can create more time for himself, right? So it's also a reminder that we need each other, Adele.
Yeah, absolutely. How's that reflecting with your calls that you've been taking? Have you been noticing it yourselves?
I'm sorry?
How has it been reflecting with the calls and the people you've been speaking to? Are they going through similar things?
Oh, yes. Everybody's elevating to that next level, and they're calling in like more aligned frequencies, you know, with some of my favorite callers. They're sharing stories about, yeah, there's this new person I met, and it's so passionate. It's so intense and unique, our connection. And, you know, but they're also using discernment with the full card. I pulled some cards ahead of time and meditated over this, right? There's a new fresh feeling that my clients personally are telling me, new relationships, new connections, a new energy that they're feeling like passionate again, right? But they're not all in right away like they were in the past. Something has gotten them out of their comfort zones, right? With the 9 of cups here, and they grounded themselves. A lot of my clients are taking the new, but they're not fully going all in just yet. They want to make sure, 6 of Wands in the reverse, that they are appreciated and that they have healthy boundaries, and that there is look at Libra coming out in the future energy. This is the Libra card with the justice, the scales of balance, right? Like making sure that there's fairness in the connection. And we're never going to have that 50-50. It could sometimes be, you know, 60-40, you know, 60-30. Like it's sometimes there's one person's weakness is another person's strength. So we kind of complement each other. So I do notice that. So that's a great question. Where are you noticing it in your 3D?
Well, I mean, things are going great. It's a bit like, oh, check me out. I feel that life's going great for me, but not so great for my husband. He's tired. He's run down. He's just had the week from hell where he's had to be, you know, in different cities, in different parts of the country. He feels that he's had a lot put on him. He's had obviously had a pay cut, you know, and he's come back just feeling groggy, tired, and feels like, you know, he's such a people pleaser and wanted to work hard and do his job, but also feels that he's been just dumped all this stuff to just do, and he's like, you know, and for less money. So I'm feeling it for him. I'm like, oh, you know, and he is just focusing on that. So he's not juggling other things because I'm able to run that side of things. But for him, he's all in. But it's just draining him, I think. I mean, it's going to get easier now because some of those events have now stopped. So hopefully he can now have a bit of a breath. Yeah. And it's taking its toll a bit, but yeah, to see what's next for him. But yeah, there might be other people like that. They're putting everything into something, or they're doing so much. But like you said, not the justice, not getting the rewards, not feeling that, you know, things are fair, maybe.
Right. And we have to go through the lack of balance in order to learn the opposite end, right?
Yeah.
Something's not right. I'm not progressing. I'm not feeling seen or heard or recognized in this place of work. So a lot of we're being urged, people that are in that situation, such as your husband, to clear those outdated stereotypes that he's put on. Like, he's being asked to approach this new cycle with a fresh mind, beginner's mind, right? Like, he may think it's silly to do something else. He may, he's got to release those judgments on himself first and look back at where he's invested, a lot of his time, effort. And I think he's going to recognize, this is my intuitive sense, that this is not where I really see myself fulfilled. And this is not how I want to create a legacy. So he's going to start to think of, how can I contribute? What can I contribute? Where's my place in this world? And that's going to require Queen of Wands in the upright, which is trusting myself, bringing that natural confidence, a talents that we can always bring, whatever. It could be anything. That's how I started. That's how we met. Because I followed my curiosity. I followed my passion for exploring the unknown, the occult, spiritual studies, and all things, right? And I started to recognize, I started to trust myself and realize, same thing with my teaching. It's not that it's set up in a certain way. You're limited. Even if I went to the higher next level, where I was able to go to special trainings. They chose me as a teacher to train the other teachers. I did it, but I still felt like there was always some type of competition. Like, there was it wasn't there was a lot of jealousy. And as a water sign, I absorbed these things, and I do separate that now, because you have to. You can't take it personal, but it's a gift. It's a gift that I protect. It's a gift that I'm sensitive to, and I use it. I try to ask God, source, universe to show me how to use these gifts to serve. And I just try to pay that forward to my clients here at Ask the Answers, and ask them to hold your intentions especially during this Libra season that we're in, and hold space for the energies to come in, so that we could make sure we're in alignment, and be open and see who arrives, what arrives. Like, get excited. Like, I'm excited. I joined a new gym that's, yes, a little bit more money than what I was paying, but I feel like I get so much more.
Yeah.
It's a bigger space. It's just in a whole nother world. And I'm just like, I deserve this. I deserve to upgrade my place where I want to be. And another thing, I literally walk across the street.
Yeah. So it's convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest. But there's different classes I enjoy, and I'm looking forward to connecting and meeting some people there. And you never know, and we start conversing, and this is what I do. And I was even looking into maybe offering some sound baths, and and how you get some people in. You don't know.
Yeah. We have gym. We have that in our gyms. We have sound baths and things like that. Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
so
really popular.
We do have to take a leap of faith with the full card. We do have to take chances, and there's no guarantees, just like in love. There's no guarantees that we have to take it day by day.
Yeah.
But like, rejoice in the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is divinely led. The universe has brought you this new beginning, or is going to, right? So whatever this project that you're working on, like, enjoy the process. Like, have compassion for yourself, that it's not going to be like everything's going to be in line, but just trust in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because just maybe your hubby is going to just be watching you as you lead by example, as you go through your own journey. He might find his role in that. Like, hey, I could kind of, I know, or he might start giving you advice or something. We don't know.
But I said to him, I'm working like a squirrel behind the scenes, and then you can take over, and you can be the CEO, and we can have our own empire. And then you don't have a job that you don't like anymore. Let me set it up, and then you can take the lead.
Right, exactly. Like, it's just a matter of time. So, you know, he's got to figure that out. That's not your job to carry that for his
Yeah.
journey for him. But you sense something. You don't.
Yeah.
That's not an outrageous thing that just came to you. That's a hit. That's a download. That's an intuitive knowing
Yeah.
that this is what is possible.
Yeah.
And we have to not be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because it keeps us from being stagnant, like the Libra, like from that, you know, it's a balance. You have to keep going. Okay, this doesn't work. I'm going to try something else. It forces you to thrive, right?
Yeah.
And not hustle.
Yeah.
Because hustle's coming from a place of doubt and fear, like you might lose out, or you know, I've invested all. No, it's going into victim mindset. But
Yeah.
if you look at it with a fresh lens, it's and say, I'm gonna try something else. That's not working, right? Like you'll naturally, your soul will lead you to plan B, plan C, plan D, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't even know. And that's how we unlock our highest potential. It's because you naturally tune into that faith that there's something else that I know. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm just going to keep going because I know something's pulling you almost.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
100%. Yeah. I'd rather try and fail than to never try at all. That saying, isn't it? I'd rather just go for it,
Yes.
and I feel it, and I feel confident. I you know, I have a good feeling about it. Yes, it's not going to be easy, and there'll be challenges and all that. But when I thought that I couldn't cope on my own, suddenly the support is there, and I'm like, well, actually, maybe I do need to keep going with this. You know. So yeah.
Yes, it's being open to a creative solution, which you did. You called in to help. And you didn't know, you know, sometimes it may look like rejection at first, but then they came back to you and said, hey, they actually offered you more.
Yeah.
So, you know, had you closed the door on it after the first conversation with them, you wouldn't have been able to open that other door of them. You know, honestly, it's like it's effortless. You just kind of have to show up and keep doing what you love and what you enjoy. And the rest of the details that some people tend to worry about, whether it's love, work, a passion project, doesn't matter what it is, those details seem to work out organically. You just have to keep your balance within your own, you know, within yourself, within, you know, having peace, you know, eating well, sleeping well, having time for play, like a balance, an overall. And I am balancing out the whole workaholic thing, but I don't consider it work.
Yeah, so, enjoy it. Yeah.
No, I love this. You know, like today I because of a time difference, I kind of, with the misunderstanding with time, I was coming in for my workout, and I was able to quickly, you know, I didn't go to stress mode because Spencer was calling me. I just said, I'm just gonna show up, like, you know, Spirit had me throw on a blazer, and I just showed up. Like, it just worked. It is, you know, we're still getting the message out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And for the people that are, you know, are listening to this podcast, obviously, you know, trying to get that balance, you know, opening up ourselves up to new connections. How long will this period last for? How long is this sort of energy around us before it goes into something new?
Well, like I said, whatever lessons are being learned now, and whatever new projects, energies, people that are coming in, new situations, new people, new lovers, it's all going to play a part into the next decade.
Oh, okay.
Right? Right. But remember, the eclipse energy, the things, that habits, like Saturn is still disciplining us along the way. Right. This is not working. Your husband cannot take the old into the new cycle.
No. And am I right in saying that we're in a 9-year cycle? This is the year 9. So next year is year 1. So we need to sort out our, you know, stuff now, because then we'll be fresh to go for the year ahead. Is that right?
Spot on with your numerology. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the year of the snake. So, you know, it's almost the completion. We're at near the end of a cycle. So yes, whatever you're not meant to carry, we're going to start the new one. Good. So like I said, whatever you do now, that self-confidence is going to help you rebuild. And you can rebuild, but that is where I feel the collective work that as we do as readers and healers on here, is to show people that you can still be successful if you were to change careers. The same way you built that foundation for yourself, you're going to be able to build from scratch all over again, whatever it is, and trust that you're going to be provided for. But some people have held grief and just had to go to work with a straight face for decades, unhealed trauma, wounds, and they don't know what else to do because they don't feel, well, how am I going to pay the bills? That's most of the conversations on there, that people are transitioning into their new cycles, are not able to walk through the new portal because they're overwhelmed. They have a fear of failure. They have a fear of making the next move. Same thing in love. That energy, if you're not able to trust in, like, okay, you know, most people that are dating, what do you can't expect the person to just tell you right away, like, what do you want? What do you mean, what do I want? Like, you can talk about what you want, but at the same time, you just met that person.
Yeah, you're gonna push them away otherwise.
Yeah, get to know the person, get to know the passions, get to know, like,
you don't have to jump. You don't have to jump ship from your workplace. Build up that thing alongside. When you feel confident, then you can take a leap. But get building, get started, plant those seeds.
Yeah.
Making a rash decision, then suddenly, oh God, security. What am I going to do? How am I going to pay the bills? So yeah, build that up.
Yes. Well, you know, for me, that wasn't always easy because I was a very all or nothing, like, you know, I'm an impulsive person to kind of act on my instinct, and I'm learning to balance that, right, over the years. So some people may not have the courage to just leave like I did. I did just, the courage was developed because I didn't have a choice. Like I told you, I got into, my health started declining. There was a heavy feeling where I could not get up from the couch. It's almost like God was saying, stay right here. Where, you know, it reminds me of that saying, where science ends, God begins. Where doctors tell you this is the end, this is it, you know, and then the miracles happen when you increase your faith and start doing things different from what you're being told, right? Instead of medicine, okay, the medicine's not working, but I'm going to try something else.
So for some people, they need that rug pulled out because they're not going to move otherwise.
Yes, the catalyst as for change to transform is needed sometimes.
And it might be harder, but
it is. It is. But some people, like myself, have to learn that way.
Yeah.
And that's where different perspectives and going to different readers and psychics on here, because we all have different stories to share and wisdom to pay forward, and it's up to the person to say, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm going to think about that. It puts new perspectives. And people that are in the working world, in the matrix, where it's hard. You need someone to talk to about these things, because the other people are your older community, family members, the society that you're living in right now. They're all doing the same things, and they're going to say, you're crazy to think that way. Like, that's not stable. You know, that's not secure. But nothing's secure. Tomorrow, the grid could shut down, and we're all, what are you going to do now? So as a creative, we find ways. That's what happened in COVID. People started improvising. People were forced to go within and slow down and look at life from a different perspective. And creativity came out for most people. Creativity to me is the most important thing. Why? Because creativity for me came through loving myself on a deeper level, connecting to spirit by connecting to breath, connecting to nature, and just allowing and allowing the masks, the social masks to fall, to accept that, okay, because I was resisting Adele in the beginning. I know we got 2 minutes on the clock, but I was resisting because I wasn't able to do the things that I couldn't do, like physically. There was like I used to be on, you know, high energy at one point, and then during my awakening, like I couldn't find the energy, and I said, okay, fine, I had to surrender. And that's where all the intuitive downloads came, the spirit, the healing, the trauma started, everything started coming up like a purge for me to face, release. Because like I said, I've been working for decades, you know, of running on high, and that was not leaving me fulfilled. Where I'm doing less, but I'm doing more, feeling purposeful and adding, I feel meaning. I get excited to wake up to, who am I going to talk to today? Who am I going to call? Or who's going to call me? Who's going to show up, right? As long as I show up for myself. And sometimes there's days when, like I said, you may not have a call. It was, how do you deal with that? Some people are like, oh my God, this is scary. I could easily go into fear and say, oh my God, I need a paycheck. I need to make that check. Like, no, it's nurture yourself. Maybe I'll go, I'll listen to podcasts. There's always something to do.
Yes.
Interesting. So Absolutely. It's how we handle what is happening and not fight it and try and change it or manipulate it, because then you're not allowing flow.
Yeah.
Right. You said at the end of the day, you say grace, and you say you express your gratitude for, thank God, thank you for that extra day I got to spend with my family, that I didn't have to work extra hard today. And then it prepares you for the next day, and you're like, okay, well, today's a better, it's a busier day. So thank God I had that downtime yesterday. So there's always something to be grateful for. And I think when you come from that perspective, it allows you to receive more miracles.
Yeah. Gratitude, flow, and balance.
Yeah.
All coming together. Well, that's been lovely having that brilliant catch up with you, Sherry. Thank you so much, as always, sharing your knowledge and your experience. And hope that's been very interesting for our listeners today. I'm sure they'll take that away. And of course, you're always there if they want to come through and have a phone reading with you. What is your PIN number, Sherry?
Yes, it's 500-640.
Excellent. You can give her a call whenever she's logged in. Grab that opportunity. Sherry, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. And I look forward to our next installment.
Thank you, Adele, for having me. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.